Show. We are here talking music on the show today, trying to create an appreciation of music. Now, everybody loves music. Come on. Who doesn't love the Bee Gees and the Beach Boys and the Beatles? Hey Jude, who doesn't love that song, for heaven's sakes? Well, great. Those are great. Well, that's one kind of music, which is wonderful. Enjoy it. Love it. Another kind of music would be the music we're playing, like an instrument or our voice. So joining me today is Vanessa Joy. Now, Vanessa Joy is a pro. She is, by the way, a breathtaking performer, which says on her bio. But award-winning vocalist. Listen to this. Distinct honor for singing for the USO at the Wounded Warriors Center in Germany. Performed for the U.S. ambassador in Cairo, Egypt. Starred in her first Gilbert and Sullivan operetta at the age of 13. What were you doing at 13? Well, she was performing in an operetta. She earned her degree in music from Brigham Young University. She's a faculty member at BYU Education Week, and she has 2 solo albums, The Voice and her inspirational album, Sweet By and By. You can find all of the information you need for Vanessa at VanessaJoySings.com. Vanessa, welcome to the Matt Townsend Show.
Thank you so much.
You're talented.
You know, I just came out with another album like 1 week ago.
Like today?
Yes, seriously.
How
yes.
long? You just popped
it's
that
like
out?
It's been 1 week or so.
What's it called?
It's called Vanessa Joy
to
the World.
It's a Christmas album.
Yeah, so smart.
Because I noticed you didn't call me on that one. I thought for sure you would have called me to be on the album. I'm
so sorry that I didn't even...
Did you hear that I was in Madrigals?
I heard that in the hallway.
I was. Yeah.
I'm impressed. Mm-hmm. You know what else I'm really impressed with? That you actually know how to play the accordion.
Well, I don't know that I would say I know how to. I knew how to.
Well, I know you own one.
Actually, my mom does.
Okay, well...
But I'm hoping if and when she passes, hope that doesn't happen soon, but I'm hoping that I'll inherit that.
I think you should, because that's a cool instrument.
Don't you think it's really cool?
I love that instrument. Yes.
You know what? I started playing it, and then when I started getting really big shoulders.
Oh, that's great.
Well, because you're pumping
for
that.
a man,
yeah.
you know.
You'd think you'd like it. But then I was like, I don't know. I think I'm not developing normally. Because my shoulders were huge.
Now you're just T-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See how that works? Let's just shoot straight, because you are a pro, Vanessa. You do like accordion.
I honestly do, yes.
Don't you think harps and accordions in heaven?
Of course. I think all instruments are going to be up in heaven.
I don't think all of them.
No, you don't think that accordions can be there?
Accordion for sure.
Oh, okay. But not harps? Why not
harps? Harps will for sure.
Oh, yeah.
We know angels have harps.
I believe that.
Yeah, I just think, I don't know, there's some guitars that are
not supposed to be. Oh, well, perhaps.
You know what I mean? And
I
voice.
Know what you're saying.
See, that's yours. Do you play piano?
Do I play the piano?
Yeah.
If I did, I would not need Marvin Goldstein.
I was going to say, because you've got Marvin Goldstein, one of the greatest ever, and so he accompanies you.
Uh-huh. Yes, beautifully.
And then you sing a solo, and he accompanies. Do you ever just need like a baritone-ish bass voice in there?
You know, Matt, I am going to call you the next time I do.
No, but do.
I am not kidding.
Okay, do it.
You ought to come to the Education Week classes with me and sing. I am not kidding.
Okay. You know what? Have your people call my people.
I will do that. Because I know we talked about, doing an album sometime.
I think we should.
I was in the middle of this one when I talked to you last time. So
yeah, because I didn't know you were actually putting it out, because I thought you were saving a song for me, but you didn't.
Shucks, I'm really sorry to disappoint you.
Whatever.
I hope that doesn't mean you're never going to invite me back.
No, you're back every time you come back.
Okay,
you're back.
all right.
You're in. And we'll just throw out a number together, and it's no big deal. Anyway, I couldn't sing. I do sing. I really sing very well. But I don't like to sing in public.
Okay.
I'm a closeted singer.
Hey, that's okay. You still know music and you appreciate music.
I don't want to throw my pearls to the swine.
Yeah, okay. I get
That's
you
the
there.
metaphor I use. They're mine.
That's good. That's really good.
How on earth do you get to a level of singing an operetta by 13? That's kind of weird.
It is kind of weird, because I don't know where my voice came from. I really don't.
Really?
Really.
Does Mom sing?
Yes, she does. In fact, she's one of those people that likes to, sing in choirs, but she's not a soloist.
Is she a big vibrato?
She has a beautiful voice. No, not operatic. Okay. No. But it's funny because she really didn't know I could sing either. I mean, I sang. I did a lot.
Yeah.
I did
You were out there.
little things all over the place as a kid. I was in, Sound of Music. I was one of the kids, little kids.
Really? Gretel?
Yeah.
What's her name?
I don't even know who I was. It was just little bits of the musical. And, but we did, I started actually on the violin.
Did you?
Yeah. And I started at 4.
Really?
Yeah. I was really little. I was just a little thing. And really the reason why I even took that instrument was because my mother saw me. There was a woman that performed in my church a lot. She played the violin.
Yeah.
And I loved it, evidently, because I came home and I would pretend like I was playing this fake imaginary violin.
With the vacuum tube. Yeah. Uh-huh.
And my mom always played classical music. That is all I remember growing up.
That's cool. So that was kind of, she was just dripping that.
Yeah, she's totally trying to make us smart. I don't know. And so I don't know if it worked, but
it did.
And so she played that, and I would run around the house playing this imaginary violin. And she asked me one day, she's like, Vanessa, do you want to play the violin? And I said, yes. So I was 4, and I began, and then from there, I was with a great teacher. She took us all over Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Really?
And I performed in orchestras and small quartets. And
you were just
travels.
That cute little violin player that they put out front, and everybody would be like, oh, she's so cute.
Until you get taller. Yeah. But it was a great experience because I got to hear all these different parts and harmonies, and I mean, it was really helping me to grow musically.
How long did you play the violin?
So I played that all the way up until I was in 10th grade. In high school, I was still playing. But it was when 13 years old, I was in high school, and I think I had moved twice. I had no friends. And I just I wanted something to change. I wanted something to be different than to just be the new girl all the time.
Right.
So I went to school one day, and I saw these auditions for this operetta, and I just went home and told my mom about it, and she said, try it, And
what's the worst thing that could happen?
Right. And so I went and I did it, and I got the only lead. There was only one girl lead. That's it. And I got it.
Well, okay, let's back up.
Yeah, go ahead.
So a lot of little girls at 13 would be like, "Oh, I don't want to be out in front." And
well, I remember my teacher, the teacher there, the person. Okay, at the audition, the professor, he told us, it was a teacher. He said, "Make your voice." We were in this nice sized auditorium, probably about 500 seats.
Wow.
Yeah, we had a pretty big sized auditorium that we were performing in. And he said, make your voice, he told this to everybody when they were trying out, make your voice hit the back wall. And I just remember thinking, okay, I can do that. I'll try that. And I got up and I did it.
Boom. And that's the beginning of fame. And look where it led you.
Exactly. Look where I am today. I'm at Education Week, teaching classes. I mean, this is fun.
But see, you just got up there, you belted it, boom.
Yeah.
And then, did you know this is good? Okay, this is going to be good.
I rehearsed a lot. To get prepared for that tryout, they gave us, some sample music to be working on, and I did. I went home and I worked on it. I worked on it all.
Do you still remember the
day.
Operetta?
Yes, I do. It's called Trial by Jury.
Really?
Yes, and it's famous over in England, but it's not as popular here.
It's not as hip here.
No, I mean, it's just
Was
not
Justin
done here.
Bieber in that? I think Justin Bieber was in that.
He might have been. Maybe.
Trial by Jury.
Yeah.
Hey, so that was your beginning.
Yes.
Then I guess you just kept taking school play after school play. Did you start taking voice lessons then?
That's exactly when I started, was right then. They actually offered them to the students that got into that musical.
Really?
And so I started with that and then just kept going after the musical ended. I still stayed with the same teacher, and she took me, had me going to lots of different places to sing and to get critiqued and win awards. I won lots of awards.
Did you?
Yes. I mean,
what does that do to you? Because that seems like now it's competitive, right? So now it's like game on. Here we go.
Well, and the same thing. My teacher with violin wanted me to do it, but I was a little more. Yeah. I think I was too young. Maybe I don't know. I didn't really quite understand it. But when it became to voice, I said, sure. I want to try this, and so I did. I probably did 3 a year, 3 or 4, depending. And I got a lot of scholarship money. I got a lot of money.
You got rich doing this.
I made millions. Yeah.
You got rich enough to go to college.
Exactly.
Which is big.
Yeah. Yeah. And it helped to, build up my resume. It helped me to, continue on.
Did you know in your heart that you were better at vocal than, did you know that, I want to be more than just violin. I think I've got something else under here.
Well, violin was so good for training my ear. Yeah. A lot of people say, how can you sing on pitch all the time? Why are you so good at staying on pitch?
I get asked the same thing.
Awesome. It's because of your background. I know it has to be. Yeah.
High school.
So, because the violin is so... It's you have to be very close to where your fingering.
Yeah, you can't be off or everyone
No, your fingering is, and so that trained my ear to know where the note was supposed to be and where it's supposed to sound right. And so I think that, anyway, but with voice, all of a sudden, I now had words. Mm. And to me,
the words meant more.
Yes, that was communicating in a way that I couldn't do speaking.
Yeah.
And I loved it. I loved being able to do that.
Isn't it interesting that kind of this theme around music is expression and voice? Especially, I guess, vocally. But music gives my son voice.
Yes.
But he's just about to release his first vocal.
Oh.
And he's terrified.
Oh, he's putting it on his album?
Uh-huh.
Oh.
He's scared. Because
he shouldn't be.
But the ladies love him.
I'm sure they do.
They're like,
he's cute.
Whoa, dude, your voice.
His music was beautiful, by the way.
Isn't he good?
Yeah.
It's like his mother. But it's scary because you, in a weird way, it's so personal. This is your voice.
It totally is.
And then you own these words too. And then you have to emote and you have to get into the feeling of it or you won't send the right
You have
message.
to have, well, the thing is with the vocalist, you're learning so many lyrics. And those lyrics, for me, better be good words.
Yeah.
Because it's in your mind, and then you're sharing it with others. And I don't want to be sharing messages that are not uplifting.
Yeah.
So it's really important to me to choose wisely in what it is that I pick for my music. Yeah.
Look at you. Vanessa Joy, we're going to take a break. We're talking with award-winning vocalist. And we might sing. I doubt it. But I'd love to hear you sing, but I don't know that we can just do that. So we're gonna find a song. We're gonna find somewhere on YouTube that you've sung because we've got to be playing it. We're gonna take a break. Come back with Vanessa Joy. We're gonna ask her two questions. Number one, I really want her to get into what music means to her, a little bit more about that, and then I want to know what's this deal with the fat lady singing. And why is it always up to her when it's over? So we're going to take a break, come back, talk about that. This is the Matt Townsend Show right here on BYU Radio.
NASA suggests a new way of looking at Alzheimer's and Parkinson's disease that's out of this world.
This is Innovation Now, bringing you stories behind the ideas that shape our future.
Alzheimer's and Parkinson's disease can be devastating. Both of them attack the brain, destroying memory and motor functions. As deadly as they are, their effects ravage not only the patient, but also the lives of loved ones, friends, and family. NASA researchers at the Kennedy Space Center and Glenn Research Center have some theories about the possible causes of these diseases. More importantly, they have a unique capability to look closer at how they develop. The diseases begin when normal proteins in the brain start developing abnormally, bunching up into thread-like blockages. The NASA team thinks the mechanism for this may be similar to how crystals grow, and so they want to look at growing these protein structures in a microgravity environment, just the kind of environment provided by the International Space Station as it orbits our planet. In Earth gravity, these protein samples soon crumple under their own weight, but in microgravity, we'll be able to see their real shapes and perhaps decode the disease mechanism from a new perspective. The next step is repurposing some existing hardware from earlier crystal growth experiments and getting it back into space to help hunt down a cure. For Innovation Now, this is Buddy Rubino.
Innovation Now is produced by the National Institute of Aerospace through collaboration with NASA and is distributed by WHRV. Visit us online at innovationnow.us.
Do you want more BYU Radio? Then like us on Facebook for updates from our hosts, announcements about our shows, and more behind-the-scenes info. Just search BYU Radio on Facebook and like us. Once you're there, give us feedback, ask us questions, and connect with other BYU Radio listeners. Talk about good. Do you want more BYU Radio? Then like us on Facebook for updates from our hosts, announcements about our shows, and more behind-the-scenes info. Just search BYU Radio on Facebook and like us. Once you're there, give us feedback, ask us questions, and connect with other BYU Radio listeners. Talk about good.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Matt Townsend Show. Dr. Matt Townsend here, joined by the award-winning vocalist Vanessa Joy, who is a joy. I'm sure you haven't heard that one.
Never.
You really are amazing. And she's performed for ambassadors. She performed her first operetta at 13. Hello, what were you doing at 13? I was playing Nintendo.
You were?
No, not Nintendo, because it didn't exist. Atari.
Okay.
I was playing Atari.
So was I, by the way.
Were you?
Yeah.
You're not old enough to play Atari.
I played video games, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, in my spare time.
Did you have spare time?
Not much, no. Because honestly, I got to tell you, I got up really early for seminary.
Yeah, you had to go take your church classes.
Yes, and then I stayed after school. I was after school till 10 o'clock.
See, let me just tell you something. You may not have noticed this. In music, like at universities, it's like 3 times harder to get a degree in music than it is any other field, which I don't think is fair. Because you have to go work 30 hours to get 10 hours of credit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do know what you mean.
Have you thought about that?
I
know you got a degree in it and everything, but it's just not fair. The rest of us, hour for hour, pretty much, But yours is like 5 to 1.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was tough. I think it's hard. I thought it was hard until I got into the music classes, and then, yeah.
If you need help making the argument, I'll help you argue it, because it makes it so. Why should we go get a music degree? It's just going to take so much more time. Well, my daughter even wants to get a music degree. Yeah, and I'm like, no. You don't have time for this. You got to get your degree done. I'm not paying for music.
Because it's just, you know what? I loved it, though. I loved it. It's almost like, I feel like music gives us a sense of what eternity feels like. Because I feel like time stands still.
Yeah.
And it's like, seriously, 5 minutes can go by, and it feels like only 2 seconds went by. It's really cool.
We talked about that on our show a few days ago.
Oh, really?
That's called flow.
Oh, okay.
When you're in flow and you're totally exercising your talents and you lose yourself, you fall into the state of flow.
See, yeah, but that's what it was like for being a student in school. Music, I could do for hours. And that's the thing. Seriously, I would come home from school. This is before I got into musical theater and stuff. I would come home and I would practice my music.
Would you just do it naturally, or would your mom be... Honey.
No, by myself.
Really?
Totally, yeah.
It was you.
Well, with violin, I kind of had to be pushed a little bit.
Yeah, you were younger.
Yeah, but not with voice, never.
Maybe it was because you were becoming a diva.
Perhaps.
In the good sense. Because the diva is just a female, strong position. It's not just being a diva. That's different.
No, I came home without being told. Yes, I went to my bedroom and I would stay in my room practicing my music until dinner time.
Do you mean
would
singing?
Go down,
like
singing.
La,
yes.
la, la, la,
singing.
la, 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 like that. Better than that, probably.
Doing vocal exercises, yes, but then also learning lyrics, learning parts. I would sing. Yes, until dinner time. And then I would go down, quickly eat dinner, go right back up to my room, and I would sing more until my dad came to the bedroom and shut out my light and said, "It is lights out, Vanessa.
Lights out, young lady."
Yes, that's what I would do.
Okay, now let's watch what happens because you did that. Okay, let's listen to what you turned into. Good stuff. You're good. Like, so all of this work, you fine-tune this into some beautiful, you call it like, this is where you feel closer to God. Mm-hmm. Celestial, I think was the word you used. You're now using your gift, your talent to feel transcended, like you're giving something more. I don't know. I think music has a way of touching people differently than what words can do. Yeah. Words are, they're just there. Well, and they're up. Yeah, they are. Well, and that we sometimes just take them for granted because we've all heard them. Ave Maria. Hello. There's so much misunderstanding with our languages. Really, there's so much that can happen. But I think music speaks in a different way, and it's another language of its own too. Mm-hmm. I think so. When you're singing that song in that setting, to that, even if you were just laying that track down for your recording, and you're in a studio looking at some guy who's just working your voice stuff, do you go to that place in your head? Actually, on that recording, I actually sang that in St. Anne's Cathedral in Israel. Wow. Yeah. It was really an experience. That's the most gorgeous acoustical building. So what happens to you in that building singing that song? Okay, so it's just amazing. Let alone really, everyone watching or listening. They're all being moved. But in you... Are you like, okay, this is it. I got to hit this part. Don't go flat. Don't go flat. Don't go flat. I don't even think that. No. You just get in the flow. No, what happens is, really, to tell you the truth, I think of nothing. Really? You sound like a man. My brain is... Yeah, they think of nothing, don't they? So cool. Welcome to our world. No, it's just you're channeled in, and really you don't even think about the lyrics or anything. You think of just... your brain is focused. Yeah. But you're not anticipating the next, but you're not worried. No, you're just letting it happen. You have a little bit of nerves, depending on a little bit of nervousness is not wrong, not totally bad. That keeps you on your toes, and I think if you don't have a little bit of nerves, you probably shouldn't be singing. Well, or you're over medicated. Right? It could go either way. Yeah, I think so that's not bad to have a little bit of nervousness. But honestly, I don't think about all those things. It's all automatic now. I learned how to sing correctly. I have the right skill now. You have the fundamentals. It just happens. Yeah. It just happens now. It's like getting on a bike. I know how to ride a bike. I don't have to tell my feet to pedal. Yeah, right. And I don't have to, it's just totally there. I don't have to wobble. I'm not wobbling. I'm just doing it. So. Do you then, do you, like I have, right before the show, I was talking to a friend that's a performer, pretty popular in this local area, and he has songs that everyone loves, and they're like, oh, do the one that he's always done, and it's like, yeah, okay. It's kind of funny, because actually, that you mentioned that, because I had two people today in Education Week class, and they came up to me today, two people requesting songs for me for tomorrow. Really? And I already have my stuff already planned out months ago. Did you say, hey, I'm not taking requests? Well, it's sweet. I love knowing that they are touched by music I've done already. And that's humbling, right? Oh, totally. I loved it. You've got real estate space in their heart. They're like, I've got a place in my heart, so go there with me. Well, and that's the thing, too. Being a musician, you need to be flexible. Seriously, you go into an audience and you have your set plan, you have your game plan, and there's a formula to doing a show. Oh yeah, you got to get them crying at the right time. You do, there is a place for them to laugh, all of that. But you can go into that, and if you're feeling it, there are times you can switch around things, and it's good to be flexible. It is so good to be when you can be that way and read your audience and feel your audience. I'm serious. When I first started, that made me very nervous because I'm used to being, in musicals, and everybody depends on you being exact the same time. That's and the so performance side, isn't it? Yeah, I can do that too. I mean, obviously, you have to say the line the same way because the other person's not going to know their line if you don't say it right.
But this is a totally different setting. If you are the one owning the show, you can call the shots. You can do whatever you'd like. And so, seriously, there's a moment in the show where you think, okay, this is time for a different song.
We're doing it right now.
Yeah.
And you change it.
Absolutely.
Huge. That seems to be, so that's one of the great, there's so many little nuances that music brings. So if your children are learning it, they're going to learn performance. They're going to learn this sense of kind of ad-libbing or just being in the moment enough to know how to adjust. You have to learn some spontaneity.
Yes.
You have to in performance. Mm-hmm. You also have to learn kind of you have to learn enough discipline to get there.
Yes.
I mean, look at all the things you became because of music.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I was just over in Buffalo last week, and I was teaching a group of kids at a drama camp, and we were talking to them all about like skills. This is skills for life. I mean, this is not just okay. Yeah, you're all going to be on Broadway one day. I mean, maybe they will, but
probably not.
No, it's not. It's totally. It's up to them. I mean, I believe if you've got a dream, dream it, and you can go for it. This is totally seriously.
But the principle is bigger.
It was really I mean, going to an audition is the same thing. You're learning how to go and do an interview later in life.
Yeah, and present yourself.
Same thing, exactly.
Man. We're talking with Vanessa Joy. We're going to come back. She's going to teach us what we should be doing as parents to kind of instill a little bit of love in music for our children. We're also still going to get the answer about the fat lady. Why is it always up to her? When once she sings, it's all over. We're talking with Vanessa Joy, award-winning vocalist, right here on the Matt Townsend Show on Sirius XM 143 BYU Radio.
On This'll Take a While, Dean Duncan shares his thoughts on the world.
But there's an affection for this because it's beautiful and lyrical and maybe even mythological.
This'll Take a While with host Dean Duncan on BYU Radio.
KBYU-FM, HD2 Provo.
Good afternoon, I'm Katie Jarvis with BYU Radio News. The case of the Army psychiatrist charged with killing 13 people in a 2009 shooting rampage at Fort Hood has gone to the jury. After declining to mount a defense, Nidal Hassan also turned down the opportunity to make a closing argument earlier today. He is facing a possible death sentence if convicted. And President Obama wants to see a new rating system for colleges. He says that part of it will be based on affordability. The goal would be eventually to link those ratings to federal financial aid awards. Colleges would be rated on a series of measures, including average tuition and graduation rates. Attorney General Eric Holder said today that the Department of Justice will sue to block a 2011 Texas voter ID law that it says discriminates against minorities. A federal court in Washington blocked the Texas law in August of last year, but its ruling was undone in June when the Supreme Court struck down part of the 1965 Voting Rights Act. And military officials say Bradley Manning has returned to the military prison at Fort Leavenworth, where he'll serve a 35-year prison sentence for giving classified information to WikiLeaks. Earlier today, Manning announced that he intends to live the rest of his life as a woman and wants to undergo hormone treatments. The military says that it doesn't provide such treatments. In world news, former Egyptian President Hosni Mubarak has now been placed under house arrest at a hospital in a suburb of Cairo. A court ordered his release earlier this week, but Mubarak could go back to prison if he's convicted in the deaths of protesters during the uprising against him. And prosecutors and defense lawyers at Guantanamo Bay have begun arguing over challenges to plans for trying 5 prisoners for the September 11th terror attack. The U.S. has charged the 5 detainees by military commission. Defense lawyers say the commissions are unconstitutional and the case should be dismissed. Immediate rulings aren't expected. The 5 face charges that include terrorism and murder for planning and aiding the attack on September 11th. And that's the news. I'm Katie Jarvis with BYU Radio.
It's time to talk And Kim Power-Stilson knows just what to talk about.
10 mind, body, spirit steps to fight fatigue and feel your best.
Or maybe
what it's like to be demolition derby drivers.
You could even learn
what is it really like in prison and how do you survive.
Kim seeks out only the most interesting people to chat with. So join us Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 3 p.m. Eastern for her show, Talk Worthy, right here on SiriusXM 143, BYU Radio.